Okay, everybody, let's talk about that seventh tool because you've already gone through these first three, and I said they apply to the second three. Let's go to the seventh one. It's very cool. I got the word space right here. I click on it, and nothing really happens. What I can do now is I can pick a letter. Let's say I want to click on this one right here, the P. Notice the box shows up. Now it shows up at every single letter I want to. So with this P, let's go through what the box can do. The first one is the rotation. I can actually rotate it one way or the other, all the way around if I wanted to, which I think is pretty cool. And then the second one I can do is make it taller, or I can come back down here or make it bigger. And then I also move it up and down, back and forth, as far as I can go. The last one is side and make it wider or thinner, wherever I want. So say I want to come here, bring this down here. Let's click on this one, bring this one down here, and actually have a really good kind of cool feel to this like this. Let's make this S really, really big. And let's see if I can rotate it internally a little bit more. And do something like this. Let's move it over here like this. Nope, can't go too far. Gonna get a little too greedy. We'll make it all the way like that. And there you go. So that's what that looks like. But that's what that does. Now the cool thing about this one is though, is if I spell something wrong, I can still go into my type tool and highlight everything and retype something. Like go F, go Control Z. Excuse me, let's do that again. Let's just highlight one letter. And let's make the S, and let's go F for pace. I can change whatever it is, so if I misspell something, that's one of the nice things about this. So let's go ahead and let's go back and put this all back the way we had it. That's the cool thing about that tool itself too, which I thought was really kind of neat. Now, let's go back a little too far. I'm giving away what I'm doing next. So let's hide that one there. Let's hide that one there. Now, with that being said, let's go back and put up space again. Let's take a look at it. Other thing we could also do is come over here. We can actually click on it, and you're going to know two things. It is, if I click on it, you know it's a font for two reasons. The bounding box is a little bit bigger than the actual word itself, and it has a line underneath it. That means it's still an edible font, and that's what the actual computer thinks of it. But if we go over to our properties over here, you're going to notice there's a couple things down here. There's one thing, it's all over down here, it's called Create Outlines. What does that do? It actually creates an outline and actually takes the computer and says it's not a font anymore, it's shapes. So I go Create Outlines, and then I can ungroup it and watch what I can do. Pretty much the same thing I was doing with the last one, but I have a little bit more control. So let's go ahead and let's kind of recreate kind of what I had before. Make it a little bit bigger like this. We'll put the A underneath here, the C here, and the E here. But notice I can take the S, rotate it. I can make it much bigger the way I want it to, and kind of hook it on top of the P. So it looks more like this. I think that's a little bit more effective piece. So that's why I like to use that one also. And the other cool thing is when it's a shape, I can overlay this. Let's kind of overlay this. Let's go with the A and the C here like this. I can select things. I can do things I can also not do normally with the fonts. I can use my Pathfinder tool. As you know, it's right down here under properties. And I can subtract. I can actually make it all one shape. Or I come down here and do all kinds of cool things like this. But there's one of the ones I like. You get your positive, negative space. That's why I like to use Create Outlines. But again, make sure everything is spelled correctly. So go ahead, let's get rid of this one. Let's go back to what we had in our layers again that I kind of previewed earlier. I've got the word space again. Again, it's a font. It has to be a font. I'm also going to input an actual picture. As you can see, boom, I got a picture of space. I just copy and paste it in, very simple from Google. Yes, use things that are actually, you have free reign. You can use it whatever you want. So I'm going to take this picture, put it on here. But know that the image has to be on underneath the actual word. So let's go ahead and take my layers and drop it underneath. And now I can see space. If you can't see what you want it, you can kind of see what it is. Go ahead and go through opacity and mess the opacity so you can kind of see what it kind of looks through. So I'm going to kind of move this down here so I can say I really want to get that bright space right there in the A. Come back here, put it back up. Now what I want to do is I want to select both the actual space and the word together. As you can tell, they're both selected because, of course, in layers, the word space is selected and the word image is selected. With that being said, there's something else I can do in properties. Two places called clipping mask or clipping mask right here. What does that mean? I'm going to tell the computer to get rid of everything outside of the letters and keep everything inside the letters by clicking here. And boom, as you can see, the word space has space inside it. And that's a really amazing thing. You can use, I usually use it for when I use words and I put a texture inside, kind of maybe a rust, or kind of a shiny steel or a chrome, or maybe silk. All kinds of cool things on the letters. I use it all the time when I design. Now, if you don't like what you have here, you can always go over here to the right hand side, say release my mask, and go ahead and then remove, just put the space a little bit more like this, and then I can go ahead and recreate the mask again. It's a big clipping mask, and boom, it looks better there. Hopefully that helps out, and that goes over everything we went over in class. And if there's any other questions, find me in class.